Hi there and a very warm welcome. My name is Tom Poland and welcome to another edition of the Turbo Business Interview where we give you at least one business breakthrough idea in less than 5 minutes. My guest today is a boomerang because he's back for the second time, Robert Coorey. Robert, a very warm welcome, sir.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, Tom.
And I must say, on reflection, I said to Robert, boy, you're looking different to last time. And he's kind of said, different better, or, I said, well, just different. And I said, I've been married too long to not have learnt to answer those questions diplomatically. However, I think you're looking bloody good. I like it. It's kind of funky. I just wish I had something to work with myself.
Yeah.
Anyhow, for those of you who don't know Robert, you should, because he's a real thought leader in his field, and he's got an MBA from Macquarie, I think it was, which we'll forgive him for. The MBA, the MBA, I mean, but he's a #1 best-selling author, which is not easy to achieve. He's a highly successful marketer. He's currently Director of Global Business at eWeb Marketing, which is one of Australia's largest and probably one of the top-line marketing agencies. He's got a personal obsession, I would have to say, with helping others to achieve extraordinary or exceptional results through innovative strategies. And I'm reading this off a script, but it's scripted because it's true. And he's written a book called How to Feed, something like How to Feed the Starving Crowds. Robert, have you got the book there? Can you give us a bit of a flash of that?
Yeah, I do actually. It's here it is, called Feed a Starving Crowd, and there it is. So it's in hardcover format actually, so it feels quite nice in the hand.
Nice, yeah. And this is fresh off the press, I believe. So that's going to be the subject of our interview today. Robert, as you know, time starts 5 minutes. We've got time starts now. Why did you write the book, and why is it called Feed a Starving Crowd?
Yeah, so Tom, the reason why I wrote the book was I found when I did my research on marketing books on Amazon, the most common complaints people had were that these books were too general with the advice they gave, and they had outdated information, and also the information didn't help small businesses out. It was only geared for people who were a medium to large business. So when I wrote this book, I decided that I wanted clear, actionable, real strategies that small businesses could implement. And also, they had to be strategies that were inexpensive or even free to implement as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it had to be stuff that you couldn't get on the internet for free, because nothing worse than paying $20 for a book and then going on the internet and finding all the information for free that you didn't have to pay for in the first place.
It's a tall order.
So that's why I wrote this book.
Okay,
Yeah, that's why I wrote it.
So why the
And
title?
the reason why it's called Feed a Starving Crowd
Yeah.
is because this book shows you how to feed, like how to find people who are desperate to buy what you're selling. There's no point selling things to people that they don't want. And I found that out the hard way when I started up a few small businesses myself. And I found that every time that I fed a starving crowd and gave people what they already wanted, the business took off and went gangbusters. And when I tried to create a need, that was a very hard exercise for me. So that's why the book's called Feed a Starving Crowd. I don't want people to make the same mistakes that I made.
Yeah, I think 90% of gaining new clients is simply intersecting between the client who has the need and what you offer, and clearly articulated. Otherwise, it's what I call milking mice. Okay, back to you. So we're looking to find out where the need is, where the hunger is, and we're looking to feed that. Can you give us an example? I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball here. I'm going to pick what I consider to be one of the most difficult industries for this type of concept. Let's talk about a plumber. How does a plumber feed a starving crowd?
Good point, Tom. I suppose by definition, a plumber is feeding a starving crowd because you only call a plumber in when something's gone wrong, okay, and you've got an emergency. So for a plumber to feed a starving crowd, they need to make sure that they're the point of contact when that starving crowd comes and they're looking to be fed. So what they do is they use a form of marketing called pull marketing. So they don't want to be, you don't want to be pushing out your plumbing services to people ad hoc because they don't need it yet. But when that time does come, when the drain's blocked or the toilet's screwed up or the house is about to flood, you need to make sure that you're accessible and you're the one they find when that happens. And that's how they feed a starving crowd, by using pull marketing instead of push marketing.
Okay, what about a nutritionist? Another curveball.
Yeah, nutritionist is a good one too. So that's That's almost like literally feeding a starving crowd, isn't it? Because they advise on the food that you eat.
Yeah.
That's a good pun on words. So with the nutritionist, the way that they feed a starving crowd is their crowd needs to know how to live a healthier lifestyle. And so a nutritionist can seed that information by using free content, blog posts and social media and things like that, but they can't give away the whole story through their free content. They actually need to keep a little bit to reveal once the people pay for that content and also pay for their consultations. So it's kind of like the way that I would imagine that going for a nutritionist, and what I've done for my nutritionist clients is they tell stories about their current clients. They give a small amount of information, but they save the big stuff for when you buy the books or when you take them on personal one-on-one consulting.
Okay, to whet the appetite, so to speak. So
Absolutely.
feeding a starving crowd, whet the appetite. Ha ha. Okay, so we've got two more questions, and we've only got 1 minute. So very quickly, a lot of people using social media to try and feed starving crowds. What are the sort of mistakes or traps that people fall into with that?
Look, what they're doing is they're just relying on free organic posts when they're using Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. And the way that Facebook gets paid, they're a public company now, is through advertising dollars. So naturally, they are going to favor you when you spend money on their platform. It's just the way the world works.
Sure.
And so the biggest mistake that businesses are making on social media, especially Facebook, is not paying, not pulling your wallet out and paying to advertise on there. That's what they're doing wrong.
Okay, before we get to the last question, because we've got 25 seconds left, where can people get a copy of the book?
Yep, you can go to feedastarvingcrowd.com. And Tom, also, I'm happy to give away 5 copies of the book to your readers who go through your channel, and I'll sign the copies as well and send it to them.
First 5 people that request the book, Tom at 8020center, 8020center.com, that's ER Center, get a free copy. Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome, Tom.